I think that this summarises much of what I've said. How the central idea of land, how the role of the little people or the spirits, how the creation and the God are all fused, brought together in her imaginary, in her ability to build more out of what she's drawn from two true traditions. Try and say that with MND. It's about mutuality. When we have the idea of the circle, a circle has no beginning and end. You can't find, you start there and go around there, or do you start there and go around? Where do you start and where do you finish in a circle? You can start anywhere. Mutuality is the idea that you're giving and receiving at the same time. That's what Arrernte is about, that each person is responsible in giving and is receiving simultaneously. So rich. He created us to look after the land. If only Donald Trump was here. If only, oh, could I say Tony Abbott was here? For goodness sake. But then you, on the other hand, you've got the eco-theologians like Dennis Edwards and Elizabeth Johnson who are saying the same, this from a deep Catholic heritage. And what is MK saying? We've got to look after the land. She doesn't know who Dennis Edwards is or Elizabeth Johnson. She's never read Ask the Beasts, but she knows that her job is to look after the land. Why? Because her spirit comes from the land and her spirit's going to go back to the land, and all the land, she says now as a Catholic, God's mysterious hand is in all that. That's what she's saying. We're joint custodians, but we sing and say it in a different style. It's the way the white fellows do. Oh, I reckon it's rich. Creation and caring are central. She's accepted the Creator into her model, but she says God is not a controller or a manipulator, but a chaperone. Don't you love that idea? In fact, there's a theology called the theology of accompaniment. Read Elizabeth Johnson on accompaniment. And the theology of accompaniment is that God is walking with us, and we are walking in the embrace of mystery. This is what MK is saying, not me, not Elizabeth Johnson, little old 80-year-old MK who grew up walking around the bush at Hart's Range. Arntantareme is the idea of caring. It's a huge word in Arrernte. When I was fortunate to be able to go to Mass in Alice Springs, for so many years I would hear MK and others on the microphone. But the word I could always hear is Arntantareme. And MK would be getting the microphone and talking about how we have to look after all the people in prison, all the people in hospital, all the sick kids, all the grandmothers looking after their daughters' children. Arntantareme, holding in the palm of your hand. I think there was a prophet who said that. I think that the ancient Old Testament history is about a God who holds us in the palm of his hand, or a God who holds us in eagle's wings. But what we're hearing here is exactly the same idea, that the resonance is in the care that Arrernte people have for each other. and for the land and for the world.